So how do you make the switch from one-on-one to group coaching? If you're trying to reach more people and you want to leverage your time a little bit, then this video is perfect for you. All right, welcome back. Today, I want to share with you how to make the shift from one-on-one to group coaching. This is something that I realized I needed to do because I was doing one-on-one coaching, and then I realized that I could only take on 3 one-on-one coaching clients at a time. When I realized that, my income was limited unless I wanted to continue raising my rates, or I was gonna have to figure something out. So I realized that I needed to move into a group coaching model. I started looking at how group coaching was set up, and I started to make that shift. Now I continue to take on one-on-one coaching clients, but I started opening my group coaching program. And when I launched my group coaching program, this was like the 3rd or 4th time, because you won't always get success on the very first go round. But by the time I got really good at launching and I got to the 5th, I think it was like the 4th or 5th time, I made 5 figures for my very first time, my very first launch. So I was super excited about that. So I want to share with you exactly what you've got to do. The first thing I want to talk about is, why is it great to have a group coaching model? Firstly is, like I said, it allows you to leverage your time. So if you're doing one-on-one coaching, you might realize that there's only 24 hours in the day, 8 of them you're spending sleeping. And unless you want to just be on the phone for 16 hours for the rest of the day, you probably want to eat. I mean, this is not the TV show 24. There's stuff that you've got to do in those 24 hours. And so one-on-one coaching, you're extremely limited to the time that you can provide to one-on-one clients, but group coaching, you can bring more clients in at once. And so the first thing to understand is that the container is a little bit different. So with a one-on-one coaching container, it is highly individualized. You're talking to that client, typically one-on-one. The times that you're speaking with them are usually customized around their schedule. And, when you can fill it in, you sometimes may end a call early. You might end a call late. It's very organic in that way. Whereas with group coaching, the times are usually set. So you might say something like, every single Monday at this time, we're going to meet. And it's not as personalized because you are talking about stuff that's going to be beneficial for the entire group. And the content that you're sharing is also not as customized. So the benefit is that with group coaching, you can you can leverage your time because you're sharing similar content. But whereas with one-on-one, you're customizing it so you can work with different types of clients. So for example, when I first started doing one-on-one coaching, I worked with a business owner who had physical products. I worked with a business owner who was looking for government contracts. And then I also worked with a business owner who had an MLM. So those were my first 3 clients. The business owner who wanted government contracts needed a completely different strategy from the business owner who had physical products, who needed a completely different strategy from the business owner who had an MLM. And when I realized that, okay, every single call is different, everything is different, it was fine. But I also realized that I would prefer to kind of keep things on the same, kind of talk about the same thing over and over again. And the next client that I picked up, I realized that, okay, this is what I enjoy, going through this process, showing someone how to set up their webinar, how to set up their sales funnel, how to create that system that's going to bring clients into them. So this is what I want my group program to be. That's when I launched You've Got Clients. You've Got Clients actually takes you through that entire process of mapping out the marketing for your offer, mapping out the webinar, the emails, and the whole sales funnel and all of that. And so essentially that became my group program, where everyone is coming in at the exact same time. Everyone has the exact same homework. And then the way that everyone can personalize it is either, you can choose a VIP option, or you can ask questions inside of the group in order to get that peer support and customize it. So you've got to understand that the container will change. The container is going to change from one of very organic and highly customized. So if you think of an amoeba, and then it's going to change to a container more similar to a box. So one of these boxes over here, that's kind of how it would change. Okay. It doesn't have to be boring, but it's going to be more structured. Okay. The second thing you need in order to make that shift is to focus on what your clients need in order to get great results. Because the container is more structured and because it's not as personalized, you're really going to have to focus on what do these clients need in order to get great results. I know, for example, when I launched You've Got Clients, my clients need review of certain items during the program so that they can get great results. It's the reason why one client who went through the program, she completely sold out her coaching program before we were even done with You've Got Clients, because I was able to review stuff along the way. I was able to help her with that sales call. I was able to help her with those things that, she was relatively new to, which she's just rocking out right now, but she was relatively new to. I was able to help her with those things. So I knew that that was a piece that needed to be personalized. So figure out what is going to help your clients get the best results. Is it a worksheet? Is it on the calls you're, giving everybody kind of 15-minute sessions? In one of my coaching programs that I recently launched, which I no longer offer, but in one of those coaching programs, I did 15-minute mini sessions. So when we got on the call, everyone had to submit their questions ahead of time. And then they had a, short block of around 15 minutes where I would answer their question before moving to the next person. So it was kind of like one-on-one, but everyone else got the benefit of listening to the answer. So that helped as well. So you've got to think about what do your clients need in order to get the best results. Okay. The next thing you need to do in order to shift from one-on-one to group coaching is learn how to sell one-to-many instead of one-to-one. So when you're booking clients in a one-on-one program, typically you're going to get on the phone with them. You're going to answer the questions they have. You're going to figure out what their goals are, what they need, and you're going to essentially customize that offer for them because it's one-on-one. It's highly customized, and even the sales call is going to be customized, or the initial coaching call that you do before inviting them to work with you further. However, with a group program, because it's more standard what you're offering, you're going to have to essentially sell one-to-many. And the reason that that's important is because a group program, you want to pack out. Like when I launched Create and Fill Your Coaching program, we oversold. We actually packed it out fully. And it was because I was selling one-to-many. I did a training, I did a webinar, and on that webinar, I was like, this is what you're getting. This is what's included. And this is for you if you are this person. So when you do that, those people who are watching, they'll be able to self-identify and then they'll sign up from there. So you've got to, figure out what's your one-to-many process. Is it doing speaking engagements? Is it hosting a training online, like a webinar? I personally prefer a webinar because it's something you can automate. You can allow people to watch it on demand. They can watch it late at night when they're stressed out about their problem and they're ready to get started. They can watch it in the morning while they're drinking their coffee or on the way, after they get to work or before they get started with their workday. So think about that. Think about what's your process of selling one-to-many. Like I said, my very favorite process of selling one-to-many is selling with and through a webinar, a video presentation. It's just a simple sales presentation where you basically provide as much value as possible in that 45 to 60 minute time frame, whatever that time frame is. And you actually help them get a result, get that aha moment, figure out what they need to take next, helping them with that clarity. And at the end of the training, you invite them to come work with you. Either it's directly to the sales page. If you have a sales page, which one of my clients I worked with, she just sent people directly to a sales page. She was able to generate $18,000 in 2 weeks from that one webinar we worked on together. Or is it going to a phone call? The other client that I worked with, where she was taking people to a phone call after her webinar, and she made $9,500 just from sending people to that webinar, getting them on the phone, and then booking them into her group coaching program. So when you're ready to make the switch, I would love to invite you to check out the training that I have to help you with this. It's called You've Got Clients, and I basically take you through the entire process of how to get people to register for that webinar, how we're getting inexpensive webinar registrations, what content to include, what to say on the training. And I also share with you the case studies of clients who have gone through the process and gotten better results than even they or I thought possible. So if you want to join us for that training, you can click the link in the description box or go to you'vegotclients.com/anti-webinar, and that will take you directly to the training. Do you offer one-on-one coaching right now? Are you thinking about transitioning into group coaching? Let me know. Comment below, like, and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Okay, bye.